Hey, Happy New Year, everybody. I am back. I hope you guys enjoyed that last episode, which was like 4 hours long, but I thought that was important to have an episode on the anniversary of H2O's 25 years as a band. And hope you guys enjoy that. I have a good handful of New York people left, and then we'll be moving on to when I move to California, since this is chronological order of my life. Hope you guys are enjoying listening. I appreciate all the subscribers, all the reviews, all the positive feedback of this podcast. It's been wonderful. So yeah, I'm going on tour tomorrow. It's an amazing tour. Persistence with Agnostic Front, Gorilla Biscuits, Street Dogs, Wisdom in Chains, Billy Biohazard, Cutthroat, and LA Count Time. So that's going to be dope. I love going on tour once I'm there, but the whole process of leaving and thinking about it, I've been having anxiety about this tour for about 6 months. One thing is that the last show of the tour is London, and we're not playing that show. And we never confirmed it. It's my son's birthday, and I will never miss my son's birthday. I don't give a fuck where I am in the world, how much money you're paying me. I'm not going to miss my son's birthday, so... That just got announced finally that we weren't playing it. We never confirmed in the first place. For the listeners, we never confirmed ever playing that London show because I would never confirm a show on my son's birthday. Anyway, so yeah, I was talking to my wife today about it, and I've been stressing about this tour, leaving. I love to play music. Once I'm there and I'm on stage, it's super easy and with all my friends. You know, I get into the routine of playing a show every night. We have 11 shows in a row. I love that. But the whole process of like, preparing myself to leave my wife and son, dropping my son at school, and then going home and going to the airport. All that shit gives me anxiety. I do have global entry, but I still get stressed out flying. I have no problem being on the airplanes or like worry about a plane crashing, God forbid. But I do the process of going through security, getting on the flight, making sure they have my vegan meals. Another thing that's really, really annoying for me is I can't sleep on planes. Like a lot of my friends can sleep on planes. A lot of people in my band can, and some people take pills. I don't do that shit. But I was thinking about, I don't know what I'm going to do for this flight because we have to fly directly for 10 hours to Amsterdam. Then we have a 4-hour layover. Then we fly to Hamburg, and then we play that night. So I'm going to be playing the first show, Persistence on No Sleep, which is fine because that's what my band's been doing for 25 years. We always usually fly in the day of show. It's kind of insane. But anyway, I'm just kind of like rambling now. But yeah, my wife wanted to ask me some questions. She was making fun of me earlier today. Mama, come in here. Let's do this, babe. So shout out to my man Gavin. His episode was supposed to come out tomorrow, but this is an emergency podcast with me and my wife because, you know, she's just tired of me complaining, and I get it. And I'm lucky enough to be able to do this for 25 years, let alone bring my wife and my son on the tour. Mostly my son now because my wife's at work, but my son comes to me during the summers. But I was trying to get my wife to come on this tour. I'm like, just take a vacation, just come out, just jump on the bus. She loves Poland. She's Polish. She can go out there and see her people. But I don't think that's going to happen. I do know what's going to happen now is that my wife's actually getting ice and being really loud in the background. But yeah, man. Come on, Mom, step to the mic. She was breaking my balls all day today about the tour and this and that. And I've been like this the whole time we've been married. But one thing I can say is that, you know, my wife tells me, always talk about it, that the reason why we're probably married for 25 years, let alone, you know, the most basic reasons of loving each other and being best friends and trusting each other and the communication and laughter, is that I am in a band and that I do leave and I come back. And I feel like that's a big part of this relationship because absence makes the heart grow stronger. I believe in that. I feel like we're living proof to that really helps. Like missing each other. Like as soon as I'm on the plane going to Europe, I'm counting down when I'm coming back. Come on, Mama. Because getting home and seeing my wife and my son and my dog Stella is super, super. I look forward to that. So that's definitely key. Would you have to agree on that? Step to the mic.
I don't know if I agree.
You don't? You told me that me leaving and coming back is...
I didn't know what part you were talking about. Yes, I do agree. But...
Talk on the mic. Yeah, thanks.
But. You only did one tour in the beginning by yourself? Murphy's Law?
There was more than that, I think, babe. Maybe.
No. You're like, I can't do this. So I quit my job to go out on the road and do another job. right?
But when we came back from tour, you always did work at the different bars and stuff.
Yeah, I kept working the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, I got a job at Kate's by
Kate's Joint,
just
shout out.
being there.
No, I know. Sometimes you're only home for 3 days, though, so that was kind of difficult in between
You
tours.
toured way more then. I don't think you could do it now.
Like 6 to 8
'cause
weeks
you'd
and
lose-
shit.
Yeah, and then come home for 3-4 days and then leave again.
And then we just started dating when you came out to this. This is crazy because last time we did a European tour with Sib was Gorilla Biscuit, Sick of It All.
Okay,
and
so there was
H2O.
2. There was the Europe tour and then that Murphy's Law tour.
Yeah, that was 96, I want to say, right? Or 90. That was 95. That was 95. We had 5 songs and we had like 1 T-shirt, and people in Europe were just staring at us like, "What the fuck is your problem?" They didn't know
My
what to
point
expect.
of this emergency podcast was just kind of to interject, or I don't know, I don't want to cock block someone else's, but it was like,
Sorry, Gavin, I love you.
because you're going on tour the last, I would say 3 weeks, but it's literally since you agreed to do it. And then since Adam's sick, it's been making it more tortured. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have Adam with you. You don't have Max
Yeah.
with you. I'm not with you. And then
Yeah.
Rusty does his coffee thing. Todd Friend sleeps.
Yeah. Adam's my right hand man. I was like they're all my brothers, but me and Adam always chill hard on tour. We hang the most. We work out, and not having Adam on this tour has been really stressful. And our people that are listening, this is a good time to talk about. Is that Adam was diagnosed with this thing called PNH. What year was that, Moon? 2000
In
what?
the 90s.
In the 90s?
Yeah, it was because it was before Max, before we moved here.
We'll look up PNH people because I can't pronounce what that means, but it's a rare blood disease. It's a mutation of your white blood cells. And Adam had to have this medicine that costs like almost $250,000 a year. And he's had relapses all throughout his life since he's been diagnosed with it, but never really had real treatment because he didn't have no insurance. So as of a couple months ago, he got really, really bad for about 9 days, lost 20 pounds, had jaundice all over his body, and like 97% of the blood in his body was infected by the PNH. So we finally went to a person, then a specialist, and then now he's getting the proper treatment. And the lady that's helping him somehow got it waived, so he has insurance, which is great, and also he doesn't have to pay that $250,000 a year, which is great for that medicine.
Your life or $250,000?
$250,000 for Adam's medicine.
Crazy.
So it's been really, really stressful. But Adam, and seeing him going through that, because he's the most healthy, positive, fitness maniac, and just seeing him get smashed down by this disease, it's so rare. I think there's like 27 people have it in America or something like that, Moon, or something. Or
It's tiny. When you made that post the other day, I was so happy that someone else said, I have this. Like, he can connect with her and say, like, how are you feeling? What is, like, it seems like she's had it for the same amount of time than he has.
Yeah.
And they can talk about, like, what do you do when this happens?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, he doesn't know anybody.
Yeah. So I did a post about these T-shirts I'm making for Adam, and all the money's going to go to Adam. And some person commented who followed me, and in her bio it said PNH. She's like, she's from our scene, and she has PNH. So I connected her and Adam, which was really remarkable to even find another human that has that. It's pretty rare, you know. But Moon was breaking my chow-chows earlier, saying, get a job at UPS. You want to go on tour. She always says it to me, like when I start stressing about tour.
My point is, you complain about going on the road, traveling all over the world, having people admire what you do, and then backtrack. Last night, we went out. Misha said to you, nobody does anything with their first band. What was your first band, Toby? And you said H2O. So, like, this is your first try, and you've been doing it for 25 years.
Thank you, babe.
And ever since I had Max, you complain all the time. I'm afraid to fly. I don't want to go.
I've never liked flying my whole life.
I know. So my point is, get a job at UPS and know how terrible life could actually be.
Funny story. I had a friend who worked at UPS, and he didn't like it. It was horrible. And when
if anyone has broken boxes, they can blame our friend.
And listen to this,
Jimmy.
And listen to this. This is a true story. That when we had that hiatus between the Go record and Hazen Street, I worked for Golden Voice for a while, and then I also just for help, I was like, you know what? It's Christmas rush. I'm gonna go apply for UPS. So I went to UPS, and I applied for UPS with all my tattoos, and I got hired. And then
without a resume.
Yeah, and then a week later we got a tour, and I was like, okay, see you later. But don't be mad. UPS is hiring.
You didn't even show up.
Yeah, because I went on tour. Yeah, I know. But don't be mad. UPS is hiring. A favorite lyric by Biggie Smalls. Anywho, yes, the grass isn't always greener. You always say get a real job if you don't want to travel, but I'm very lucky. This band is taking me all around the world. But I'm sorry that I love you and Max so much that I'm super baby emo when it's time to leave. Once I'm there, I have a blast. I talk to you guys every day.
Is it love for real, though?
What do you mean?
Is that what that really is?
Is what?
Because you're afraid to leave. Is it because you love us, or is it because you're crazy?
It's a mix between both, probably. Yeah, I'm crazy in love with you guys, and I love being home, and I love my life here, and I don't like the winter, and I'm going into the fucking winter.
Obsession? No,
it's not
you're
obsession,
not. No,
no.
I know. I'm just trying to think, like, what is it?
It's. I love being home with my fam. I love driving Max to school. I love being like try to be a normal person in society. But then I love being the weirdo.
USPS.
And I like being the weirdo that I really am, and go on tour and play these shows, and the shows are great. I'm gonna be with all my friends. It's gonna be a blast once I get there. But it's just the leaving, going in the winter, and honestly, if Adam
always have fun.
I know, but if Adam was with me, it'd be a totally different story. And this is no disrespect to Rusty or TF or Ernst, my brother, or even Dan Smith, who's filling in. Thank you, Dan. It's not that. It's,
getting there.
But I also pride H2O on being a band with original lineup as much as we can. You know that. I'll do everything in our power to keep for the members original as many tours. And people who know us for this many years know we always just have somebody filling in for my brother Todd.
This is a total fluke.
It is a fluke not to have Adam. Yes, it is. So now we're like 3 members of H2O. But there is a thing where I just like to keep the brotherhood and keep our family and keep it original as much as we can. And I don't know, I just pride myself on that. But I wasn't going to cancel this tour. Definitely never confirmed the 26th, which is my son's birthday.
But you walked around the house.
Stressed out about
all
it.
day.
Stressing.
Every day.
Stressing.
I'm canceling. I'm not doing it. I'm not going.
Well, the thing was people listening. Last week, Adam was like, I might do it. I'm going to beg my doctor. And he begged his doctor on Thursday, and she said no. So there's been these highs and lows of
Prior
building
to
up
that,
to this.
you'd say, if this person emails this, I'm not doing it. If this happens, I'm going to do it. I'm not doing it if this. You sound like an insane person, and then you make us insane.
I don't mean to push it on you, my insanity.
You're going to go push it on a neighbor?
No. But anyway, my point is that, yes, I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm excited. Thank you, Dan Smith, for playing bass with us. Persistent Tour is going to be sick. And the show's going to be great. So many great bands, so many great friends. And, yeah, it's hard. It's a lot easier now with FaceTime, though, and texting, Mom. Remember back in the day? It was hard.
So the last maybe 5 years, you used to call. I don't think you really called collect, but you'd call on like the calling cards. And then when we got phones, the phone bills were like $2,000 and $3,000. I remember you calling from Australia one time that I didn't go to. And my mom was like, how many times did he call today? And I was like, I don't know, a couple. And the phone bill was always astronomical.
Way more than I made on that tour.
And you used to steal off phones too. So
yeah, because we had these dialers. Yeah.
What it would be.
Yeah.
But recently, you will say to me, do you miss me? How you don't give me a chance to miss you.
But when I'm on tour, Max, you hear from me less, though.
You get on the plane, you get Wi-Fi.
Facts.
And then text me or email me the entire time on the way there. Even just so recently, you could talk to me on the plane. It used to be like, all right, at least I have 8 hours of silence.
No, that is really
now
true.
You text me, email, call, Facebook, Instagram.
Well, let me
all of the above.
Let me keep it real with you real quick. It's mostly because Max asked me to get Wi-Fi. He texted me during the day from school. You know that's true, babe. You could give a shit.
Is Max the dad?
No, but you say goodbye to me once, and you're good without talking to me for 12 hours. Max wants to make sure I'm safe because he's a stressful fly like me. You're not. Just for the people listening, when my wife gets on an airplane, which is her favorite airline, Southwest, Mooma gets on the plane, no matter where she's going, with a winter jacket, a scarf, a fucking hat, and she lays on the floor where your feet go. So she lays across the floor where me and Max was sitting, so we have to keep her feet up. The whole plane's looking at Moon. Somehow she curls up into a teeny ball and sleeps on the dirty-ass airplane floors. You've been doing that your whole life, I've known you.
Couple airlines don't allow it, and they've woken me up, and I'm getting so mad.
Because it's bumpy or whatever that shit.
Doesn't matter if the plane's going to crash. You're going down. Doesn't matter if you're on the floor or sitting up.
Do you take pills on the flights?
Not always.
Have you ever take one and like woke up and like, where the fuck am I?
No.
So the guys in my band don't do that. They used to, or they get on the plane drunk. I'm sober now, but I've never taken anything, and I'm wide awake on the whole flight. It fucking sucks. And I'm thinking maybe I should take a melatonin, but I'm worried about that.
One time I did, and I had a full 5 seats in the middle of the plane, and it was somewhere in the middle of like Japan and Hawaii where it's always bumpy and they have a lot of crashes.
Yeah.
And I had taken a sleeping pill. I lay down. I thought, this is great. I'm going to sleep the whole way there. I'm going to be no jet lag. And it starts bumpy, and you start shaking me. Wake up, wake up.
I did?
Yeah. And I was like, no, I'm going to sleep. No, we're going to die. I was like, okay, let's die together. And you're like, no, I can't do this. I can't do that. I have stuff to do. I'm like, what are we going to do? And the flight attendant
I have to
told
organize
you.
my stickers.
The flight attendant had told you, yeah, this is where we have most of our crashes.
What a fucking
And
asshole.
you were like out of your mind. So
That's scary,
scared.
babe.
And I thought, what can we do?
Was that between Hawaii and Japan where the fucking...
Yes.
That lady like broke her neck or something? It was scary, dude. Remember the flight before us or something?
No, but...
So you think that it is a blessing and a curse. You don't think that me going on tour helps the relationship?
Yeah, better than if you had a job every day here.
Yeah. So
I'd
the grass
choke you.
isn't always greener, because if I did get a regular job, UPS or something, I'd be home 5 o'clock, cranky, come home with a long day at work, my back hurting.
Yeah, but
miserable.
when I come home from work, you're like the lady waiting at the door. And I know what it's like to be a plumber, to want to come home and just sit down and have an old style.
You can't compare the job you do to actual work of a plumber. Babe.
I'm saying someone that leaves the house.
Yeah. Because I do everything from the house. But
But you're like waiting for me. If you hear my car door slam, you're on the front porch whistling.
it's kind of hard to hear my wife's car. She has a 1965 Falcon, and the thing puts down the street like a fucking, like it's a spaceship hovering over fucking my street. So I know when you're coming, and those loud ass doors opening. So yeah, I get excited to see my wife. You should like that. Here's the thing though. What if I didn't give a shit?
Yeah.
What if I was a miserable prick at a miserable job,
100%.
coming home, yelling at you, give me my beer, put the fucking TV on, put some football on, sit on the couch. It's different, you know what I mean? Like the grass isn't green. And if I did have a real job, which I consider what I have a real job because it's 25 years, maybe I have to go 50 years to prove it's a real job, but you know what I mean? So yeah, it is good to have you, Mama, because you keep me balanced and you keep me checking. You check me about, dude, you're so lucky you get to travel, and because of that, you got to see the whole world with me, babe. We're lucky we did all that shit
Are
before
you
Max
trying to
was
twist
born.
this onto me?
I'm trying to say that before Max was born, you got to see the whole world, man. How many times did you go to Japan together? I think 8 times.
Probably more.
Then we brought Max there twice.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks. You went to South America finally with us, right? Yeah, we never did that when you were touring with us.
Twice.
And then, we got pregnant on tour, and you were pregnant on tour and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, I guess I bet if I get some more musicians on it, and I have had a bunch of musicians on this podcast, and they talk about it. Every single person who has a family, they talk about, the gift and the curse of being a musician and becoming a parent. And
I know the
leaving their
grass
kids.
isn't greener. I just wish you would complain less or stress less or pick a flight and stay on that flight. Not change the
These are
seat
facts.
or the flight.
Yeah, I change my
One
flights
time.
every second to the last minute. I call them like 7 times. I've got a non-dairy vegan
Hi,
meal.
it's Toby. And they're probably like, so? Hi, I'm scared to fly, and I want to switch seats one over.
I do that. And I also make sure I have a non-dairy
But
vegan
you
meal. I
do
call
that
them
like
all the
20
time.
times.
You know, it's my right to call the airlines. It's my right as a traveler. It's my right as a mileage high passenger to make sure all my everything's correct for my shit. You know what I mean?
sound crazy.
I am crazy. So I remember I started flying when I was a kid and there was smoking on the plane.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
Recently,
Yeah.
not when you were a kid.
Yeah, it'd be my mom next to me smoking on the plane too.
Remember that one flight?
In band
It
camp?
was like a Middle Eastern airline,
Yeah.
and Rusty lost it. And they were like, first class could smoke, but everyone else couldn't.
Holy shit. That
And
was
he
like in the 90s, late 90s.
He kept running up to the curtain, and he was so mad.
Yeah, for those listening, Rusty fucking hates cigarettes. If you're smoking at a venue on stage, definitely put your cigarette out.
That's
Rusty's
the
gonna
airline
fucking-
that Armand said people were praying in the aisles.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember that. That was crazy. You told me
I
that
can't
story.
think what the name of it is.
Jordanian Airlines or something like that?
Royal Jordanian.
That was it back in the day, yeah.
I wonder if they're still around.
I don't know, man, but
smoking on flights.
So for people
707.
listening, I know Jamie Josh, we didn't get to talk to on the podcast, but he's almost like the guy from A-Team where they had to like sedate him to get him on flights. It took Jamie a long time to start flying. Went to a hypnotist, a therapist, all that. Now he flies, and shit, I need to ask him about that next time on the podcast. But he was a terrible flyer as me as well. And once I'm on the plane and I make it through and have all my shit and everything's good, like the last time I went through security, they're like, "We need to look at your bag, sir." They went through my bag because my like PMA stickers and my drug-free stickers, there's a chemical used to make stickers, and that chemical is also another chemical to make things that are like scary. So they pulled me to the side and went through all my stickers. I'm like, really, dude? Is that random shit? And so my main fear on this tour right now is that I'm flying home on Max's birthday, and if there's any weather, because it's coming from Amsterdam, that's my. I'm gonna stress that. I'm gonna shit my pants every day and stress this whole tour to the fact that I gotta land at 11:55 on my son's birthday. And I can't control, and the thing about it is I can't control any of that, so why am I stressing about it? I can't control what's going to happen on January 26th in that flight, but in my mind, I'm like, I'm fucking stressing it. And just, even one of our friends we just with now, he's going to be going away on a family trip in like 6 weeks from now, and he's totally stressing, leaving his wife and his daughter.
And he also used to travel all
it's weird.
The time.
I don't know if it's like after a certain age you have a fear of flying, or when you become a dad, like you're more, I mean, I know you're more emotional and you're connected to your family. I don't know. I just feel like I maybe I love you and Max more than you guys love me, but I feel more connected. Like
for sure.
You're an asshole. And I feel like we form like Voltron and we're all together. And
maybe we love you more and you're just more of a freak.
Maybe, but we form like Voltron. And when I leave you guys, I have missing a part of myself. And I hate to say the word, because it's like, Jerry Maguire, you complete me, but you guys complete me. You guys are part of me and my energy, my whole life. So when I'm out there with you guys, I know I'm representing for the family and I'm doing what I'm doing for the fam, but it's just hard sometimes to get that, to think about that kind of stuff, you know? I don't know. What if the shoes, what if it was opposite feet and like you were going on tour and you were leaving all the time, the Max, you might feel the same way. You don't know.
That's happened.
Yeah, but not consistent like mine happens.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think why would that have happened? Like,
where'd you
when
travel
I go, even if I just like went back to see my mom.
Yeah. Yeah, even for 4 days. People listening, man, if Moon and Max go to Chicago for like 4 days, I drop
for Easter every year,
I drop at the airport
and then summer every year.
And I start bawling in the car, and then I get home in this fucking house. I can't sleep the whole time they're gone. I can't sleep in the house by myself without them because there's this crazy energy in our house. Even our friends in Millhouses, we were with them last weekend up in the snow. Love you, Millhouses. They said when they left their house, we left them. Their house was so quiet. But it wasn't a diss. Like they loved the Morse energy. We're like an intense, hyperactive, talkative family. So
it's the person that's getting left behind, how they have to deal. And even though you're going on tour, you feel like we're doing our thing and Max is going to school, I'm going to work, we're doing our stuff. And when you come back, I always make you feel like you need to chill out to get into our world. Is that right?
Yeah, because you guys stay consistent and you keep the carpooling, just a regular everyday domestic life while I'm gone. And then when I land, I'm totally out of my mind. I didn't sleep the night before because you played a show to wake up.
You're on fast forward
mode. Wake up. Yeah, I'm 9 hours ahead. I haven't slept like 3 or 4 hours. I have to fly straight. I'll be flying straight home and then come back, dive into Max's birthday, which I'm so excited about. But even if it wasn't his birthday, just coming back home and trying to jump back into your schedule. And you've always had to be the strong one. And that's like, sometimes I'm like, I feel bad because sometimes you should be allowed to be like the emotional mom crying at the airport.
But I can't.
But we both can't be crying at the airport.
Everyone would be blubbering slobs.
Yeah. So you have to be the man and wear the pants.
So then I look like a cold-hearted
You don't.
bitch.
I'm
Yes, I do.
just a more sensitive, emotional person. You know that. I'm away. I guess I was raised more emotionally because I don't know what it's
My
from.
mom always says, just because you don't see it doesn't mean I'm, feeling it.
That's true. But my mom was a crier, and so we became criers. See my mom cry, and then my dad lose all that shit people already know from this podcast. But all that, and then becoming a dad, and then fucking seeing all those commercials on the TV with the dads, and then the movies with the dads. What was that movie we saw? If I go to a movie with my wife and my son, and it's a movie about a dad dying or something with the dad,
you lose it.
Lose it, man.
But so does your brother.
Yeah, both my brothers do. What was that one movie where I walked out and I was shaking? I was crying like fucking somebody killed Stella. I was coming out of the movie. I was shaking and bawling, Mom. Remember that? What was that, babe? What movie was that?
We never figured that out, but
It was
Kim
gnarly.
said Todd did the same thing.
Yeah, both my brothers are very emotional wrecks. Like I say this once, I said it twice, even though listening. Me and my brothers definitely need therapy, for sure. And my mom, too. That's a whole different podcast. I may have him back on here, and we'll talk about that. Maybe we'll get a therapist on the show. I have one, my friend at Soul Cycle. And then come on the show and sit down with us.
They can tell you you're all crazy.
That would be so amazing. So if you're listening, DM me about it. You think that'd be cool? Me, my mom, and my 2 brothers and the therapist on the podcast. That'd be fucking amazing, man. I think it'd be awesome.
Oh.
I want to talk about my wife most recently watching the Kardashians. I don't want to blow up her spot, but because people diss them all the time and make fun of them, my wife.
I've never ever seen the Kardashians.
And all you hear is people make fun of my wife. Like, I'm going to check it out.
And I've kind of judged them too, like, oh, they blah. So I thought, let me watch it, then I can say they suck or not. And it was like watching a train wreck. I couldn't stop watching it.
Yeah.
And Dash Crew.
Yeah.
I could not stop. But although they're really weird and mean to each other, they're also nice to each other. I thought, like, they actually make me want to have sisters.
Yeah, that was interesting. You said that last night. You said, I think this makes you want to have a sister.
I mean, I guess that boat's sailed.
I'll loan you my 2 brothers for a week if you want.
You know what I mean? Like, they're just, they fight and then they're over it.
Yeah. But that's a different level of family. That's a different economy. It's just everything about it is just very different.
And it's probably not real.
Yeah, nothing's real.
What was your point about me watching that?
My point is, it's just so odd for somebody of your personality and what you usually watch. When I came home from tour, you're watching like, what the fuck? You're like, yeah, people are talking shit. I'm gonna get my own opinion of it. And I thought that was cool. They actually took like,
and they're on 18 seasons,
and
I just started
you took 300 hours of your life to dedicate to see if
I liked them.
Yeah, why people liked them or not.
But since I started watching it, we found out from your friend Chris that one of the girls actually, Kim Kardashian, writes thank you cards and is very nice.
Yeah, that's true.
Unlike most people, you think like, oh, they're so mean or they're nice. You know,
Yeah,
movie
she still
stars
writes
that are
thank you
nice
cards.
and not whatever. And
Especially
I thought that was very admirable.
in this digital world, like people are doing actual writing things down and sending postcards. You know what I mean? Like Ian MacKay still does. They still writes postcards. I think that's really awesome. I think it's cool that people take the time to write. It means more, I think, you know? And people actually save those things now. Like, holy shit.
I've made
almost
Max
like a
write
gift.
thank you cards since the day. I remember sitting with him and thank you cards would take forever.
Yeah.
And then like as he got older, I would just write the name on the thing, like put a little Post-it and be like, here you go.
Yeah.
And I think that's super important. Important.
Yeah. To teach them how to do that. And just like using the phone, too. We taught me to use the phone. We have a dialer phone in our house right now next to me.
Just in case.
Just have people make calls. Anything else you want to bash me about? Or
we should do a roast.
This is a roast pretty much right now.
Well,
the roast is being too sensitive.
My point was, it was just like, what is your point of being like so down and complaining about doing something that so many people would love to do?
Yeah. That's a good point. We
like take advantage of it.
We had shout out to the Canals in Moby. We had a nice brunch today at Little Pine Moby spot, and Moon was telling them she was going to be on the podcast today and have questions for me. And then Moby decided that he had some questions he wanted you to ask me. What were they, babe? Do you remember?
Do you really like Coldplay?
I think Moby's so bugged out because
he thinks that you're doing it for shock value, like how when we
Punk
met
rockers
Ian in Newfound Glory. Remember we stayed on his bus one night?
He loved Britney Spears.
And he blasted it.
Yeah.
All night. I slept below him in the bunk.
Yeah.
And he just put it on to go to sleep, and it was so loud.
Yeah, I think Moby's because Moby comes from that pop digital world and all that stuff, and he's also comes from the punk rock roots and knows that I come from that too. He's just
How could you possibly like Coldplay?
So his question was my top 5 non-punk albums, bands, artists. And I would say obviously Coldplay is one of them. U2 is another one.
That's an odd band to like, too.
U2?
For you, or for what people probably think.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you
yeah.
sit home and listen to.
Yeah, I would say U2, Coldplay. I would say Madonna. I would say Sade. And then the other one after that would be Prince. Those would be my top 5, like ones that aren't supposed. Oh, The Cure. Shit, that's 6. But yeah, I mean, that was a question he had. Another question he had was what? Do I really love Coldplay? Yes, I really love Coldplay. He likes them too. We talked about that today. And then he also, another one was like, what is a person? Oh, Okay, there's a question for both for us, and I know your answer too. We know we met a lot of people in our life that we look up to, a lot of people who we'd admire, and artists and musicians, whatever. And who was one you were like too nervous to meet? Don't make pause so long.
I don't know if it was too nervous to meet, but I was actually telling Tony about it today.
Yeah.
Something Wild, Melanie
Okay.
Griffith,
Okay.
Jeff Daniels, and that was Ray Liotta's first movie.
Yep.
Part of like her character in that movie was Lulu. And when I saw that, I was like, I'm going to be Lulu.
Okay.
I love her.
Yeah.
The way she dressed, her hair, everything about her. I thought she was so cool. And then fast forward, we saw her at a restaurant frequently when we moved here. And you said to me, go say hi to her.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at her, and her lips were ginormous, and her face was pulled back. She looked like the complete antithesis of Lulu. And I thought,
Gotcha.
I'm not going to say like, everything I've done from 1986 is a little bit of Lulu here and there.
Yeah.
Like, she just seemed so odd and off.
Yeah.
That
She
I
had a lot of
didn't
plastic
even want to
surgery. I
say
didn't
anything
recognize
to
her.
her.
Yeah.
It was hard to see that was Lulu.
Moon's talking about Lulu, the character from Something Wild, which is a movie with Ray Liotta and Melanie Griffith. It's an incredible movie. It's got a True Romance vibe to it. I suggest
It was like
everybody
the
watch it.
pre-True Romance. Yeah.
Super dope movie. Also, another one of our faves is California with a K, which is Brad Pitt and Juliette Lewis. It's an incredible one. So I guess for me, so that's the person you met. Well, I thought it was Robert Smith at Conan O'Brien, where you said, I don't speak English, and you shook his hand.
But I said hi to him.
Yeah, you were intimidated by meeting him. That's the question Moby had. Who's somebody you met you were nervous to meet? Was it probably Robert Smith too? I would say.
Sure.
Yeah. For me, it was Jay-Z. Rappaport's a good friend of his. He invited me to go see him perform. This would be one of the first out of the 3 times I got to meet Jay-Z, but the first time was me, him, and Mike Rappaport backstage. I was standing there. Beyonce was sitting on the couch. She was on her phone. It was us in this room. And you could tell that I was nervous, and I guess I gave off that vibe. So Jay-Z, he's talking to me and Mike, and he puts his hand on my fucking shoulder. And he's like, hey, man, you good? Do you want some water or something? And then Mike looked at me, and he realized that, yo, this motherfucker is fucking, is tripping on this. And so Jay-Z went and got me Fuji water. And I opened it up and drank it. And I took my jacket off. Then I felt really comfortable after that. And like, just because he could tell the tenseness, And another one of those times that me and Mike didn't get to talk about on the podcast was Mike said, yo, come by my crib. We're watching this Muhammad Ali documentary. So I roll to Mike's old house, and I go in the house, and he's fucking sitting on the couch. This is a fucking true story. And when Mike comes back on for the part 2, we'll probably tell the story again. He's on the couch eating fucking chicken wings with Nas, and they're smoking, or they're doing bong hits. So I come in the house, it's just Nas and fucking Rappaport on the couch. I'm like, holy fuck. One of my favorite rappers. And then we're sitting down, we're watching this doc, and then like Nas offered me chicken. I said, no, I'm vegan. And then they offered me weed. I said, no, I don't do that. And Mike said, yo, this kid's a freak. So man, Toby, he's a freak. He's straight as and vegan. And this is way before we see Nas now at the vegan spot.
This was over 10 years ago.
Yeah, and he's like, yo, what's that vegan shit and straight edge? I respect that. Much respect. So that was a really fucking crazy moment. Was the Jay-Z and Nas, because those two are like in my top 5, you know what I mean? I try to think about else that I met that I didn't want to meet or was nervous to meet.
When I used to see Willem Dafoe all over New York, he would be like walking at me. This is before cell phones, so he'd be like talking, probably practicing lines.
Oh yeah, down
and
through
we'd
Soho.
be like literally getting really close, and I would walk across the street. I don't like to meet people that you think are cool because then they're dicks.
Yeah, because we've met a lot of people in our lives, babe. We can't say names. I wish I never fucking met.
Yep.
People that had them on this pedestal, and then you meet them, you're like, fuck.
Yep.
And then it's hard to go back and listen to their music because then like,
they're jerks.
that really sucks. That was real bummer.
Or they're an everyday person, but happens to be a jerk.
Chris Martin was amazing, super loving, super show my tats, super fucking wonderful. I could have kissed him.
He was scared of you.
No, he wasn't.
Probably thought you were going to pull out an ice pick.
No, dude, he was super wonderful. And I don't know if I told this story too, was the Tupac one. It was early 90s, backstage with House of Pain, 1992 and 93 at the Ritz. I posted this thing several times because there's a book called Who Shot Ya? It's like all hip-hop photos and like Tupac. Everybody's in this book. It's a hardcover book. But they took this shot. It's me and House of Pain backstage. I had my shirt off. And I remember being backstage after they performed, and Tupac came in. He might have been filming Juice, and he had like a high-top kind of fade thing. And he came in. He had the haircut from Juice. And he came in, and he saw me in my shirt. He was like, yo, you fucking white boys are crazy with them tattoos. He had no tattoos. He's pointing at my rocker, my alleyway crew, on my stomach, pointing at my stomach. And no, the guys in the house of pain have tattoos, but I guess I had more obviously back then. He's like, yo, this shit's dope. He gave me like his hand, shook my hand. He had like long fingernails. And he was just tripping on my tattoos. And then the next time I saw him, he had fucking his stomach rocker. He had all these tats. Not saying I inspired him or anything of the matter. I would never say that. But it was cool to meet him, have that moment, and like he had no tats. It was pretty cool. Because I think after Juice is when he kind of took that turn and actually tried being like that more role, like more in that tough street shit. Because he was like, wasn't like that. He was a dancer for Digital Underground. You know what I'm saying, at that time?
No, I don't know.
Well, he used to come to your bar and used to not really. Did he ever come to your bar and you give him a drink?
Yes, no tipper.
No tipper. He wasn't a tipper. Rest in peace, Tupac, but he wasn't
At
a
all.
tipper.
Don't care.
But anyway, that was a great moment. I wasn't nervous then because I didn't. But Madonna's a great story. I don't know if I told that story before, Mama. Did I?
I think yes, you did.
Were you there at that one? That's a great
I was
story.
at the second one.
Tell the one at the second one, the Roseland. That was wonderful, babe. That's funny.
Rancid was playing at the Roseland.
Were you opening for them?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Roseland, yeah.
And the way it's
Shout out to
set up,
Rancid.
they have like a weird like seating area, kind of like 6 feet high or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's all these tables. And I was sitting on this table just with a bunch of friends, and I get a tap on the shoulder, and they're like, "Get up." And I turn around, and they're like, "You're in Madonna's seat." And I was so excited to tell Toby that Madonna was there.
I was on stage, and you were trying to wave to me to the side.
I was like, "Oh my God."
In the VIP section
Oh my
at the
God.
Roseland.
And then, meanwhile, Lars was excited to introduce you to her.
Yeah, he knows I'm a huge fan.
And she remembered you. Didn't
From
she say like,
from
"Oh my
C-
God, I remember you,"
Yeah,
or
from
"I know
CB's.
Toby"?
Yeah. So rewind, I was with Sib and a bunch of people at this random show at CB's the night before Lollapalooza got rained out in New York City, but it was going to be like a Booyah Tribe Cypress show at CB's. And I had a picture of Madonna in my wallet because I was such a freak. And I was there with all my friends, like just hardcore cats. We were hanging out. And she came in with Freddie DeMann, who I know.
And Tom Coates was with you.
Yeah, and he had a Madonna tattoo too. And she came in and like I was like, oh my God. And I went up to her, I showed her my Madonna tat. She signed my picture for it in my wallet. She's like, probably like, what the fuck are these tattoo guys at CBGB's even give a shit about me? And then Tom had one, showed him his portrait. And then we were all supposed to go to Lollapalooza the next day, but it got rained out. So then fast forward, she was trying to sign Rancid and she was schmoozing them. And Lars said, come backstage, meet so-and-so. I come backstage and there she is with Freddie DeMann. I remember it was that time when like, it was like the erotica days. And so women wearing like those slips. Remember girls that wore slips? Like they wore slips in the summer, like see-through slips. And she was wearing that. And I come down, Lars like, yo, this is Madonna. She goes, oh my God, I know you. And she grabbed my hand, flipped my arm, showed it to Guy Oseri, like my tattoo. And I was with the guys in black train jacket. I think they were like, everybody's bugging. We were all like, they were bugging.
Because everyone's always known you love Madonna.
Yeah, and they were bugging. Like, how the fuck she remember this guy? It was a really awesome moment, man. It was really cool. And everybody was super nice. She was super cool.
Then when we went on a vacation to California, I drove you to Madonna's house. And we pulled outside, and I said,
yeah, you're crazy.
Go knock on the door.
I was like,
and you were
fuck
like,
that.
what? And I said, she knows. You go knock on her door.
Fuck that. The coolest thing from the Madonna thing is that there's a book called Madonna in Style. I think I might have posted that before too. I ended up getting hit up by somebody and they did an interview with me. I have a half page in the Madonna table book, which is a fucking dream. I'm wearing my Madball shirt. It's a CB show and it's a write-up about how I met Madonna. That was really, really cool. Yeah, man. What else are we talking about here today, babe? This is a nice little, this is relaxing. Joe's going to like this one.
This is
Joe
getting sidetracked from the original.
I know, because Joe said that he likes when we talk, though. The sidetrack, the original reason why we did this podcast is because Moon told me to man up, work at UPS, get a regular job. You don't want to go on tour. Stop bitching. This is what you do. You're very lucky to do it. I hate these.
Let's make a bet.
What?
All right, you're leaving in how many hours?
I don't know, like a couple hours.
How many hours are you leaving in?
I don't know, man.
Tuesday afternoon?
Yes.
And today's Sunday afternoon.
Yes.
So less than 2 full days.
No. This podcast is really, because we were talking, I'm going tour tomorrow. This
But
comes out
I'm saying
Monday.
to you,
Yeah.
let's make a bet. $100,000.
Fucking fuck.
That you can't say one thing related to anything tour related.
That's really a hard bet, man.
Anything.
$100 is good. You know?
That means you can't do it.
Let me ask you this, though. Am I allowed to say blessed? Because is it a blessing that we're still married, that I still get to play music, that I do what I love? Or am I not allowed to say that I'm blessed because I earned that because I paid my dues and got where I am because I worked my ass off to get where I am? So I earned it.
Do you believe in God?
No, not really.
So then you shouldn't say it.
Yeah. So, but blessed has become something that's beyond religion. It's just a hashtag. It's a slogan. So I'm asking you, like, are you blessed because you worked hard and you still get to do what you love? So you're blessed.
Are you entitled?
No.
Why don't you just say I'm grateful?
Grateful, yeah. So saying blessed is not, you're not to say that if you worked hard to get where you're at. I'm just asking, this is a serious question. Because some people are like, you shouldn't say you're blessed because you paid your dues to be where you're at.
I just think that word's a little overused now.
Yeah.
So maybe it just seems a little
A lot
cheesy.
of words are. A lot of words are.
Yeah, well, move on and pick your own words.
Okay. Grateful.
Yeah.
Grateful. But do you think you're...
Because you did work to get to where you're at.
So you get to work where you're at and you paid your dues to get where you're at, but going beyond where you thought you were actually going to end up 25 years later, does that mean you're blessed because you still get to do something you worked hard for? Or is it something that... I just don't know if the word...
It wasn't handed to you.
No, not at all. This is my first band.
You just figured that out yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Well, I did have that silly band called Thrappin' Crew in Maryland. We played one show, but it was nothing. It was Thrappin' Crew. I rapped one song. If you heard the first episode of the podcast, you know I sang that song. You know, the song was called Posers.
I had no idea of that.
Well, you know I sang that song. That's my rap song.
Yeah.
Want to do it again?
No.
I can't do that.
Please don't.
So anyway, yeah. So, all right. So the word blessed, don't say that. You know, dues paid, self-made, all that stuff. You did that yourself. You know, you worked hard. I guess that's what we're allowed to say. But, you know. Anyway, my point of this conversation was that was the questions we had. Moby gave those questions today. You gave some good points. And the bottom line is, you know, shut the fuck up, Toby, and go on tour.
Do you want to do a bet though, for real? Reasonable.
$100. So $100, I can't.
Every time you say the word,
that I'm stressed.
It's
about
$100.
Yeah. Maybe I should go to a therapist.
Bus.
Maybe I should go get therapy or get hypnotized. Like Jamie. I'm gonna call Jamie Joss after this and ask him because I work for I think he's gonna have his DA or BA from 18.
You're gonna have to take your brain out.
You don't get scared to fly? No.
And I shook my head. Sorry.
Yeah, my wife tries to bring.
Not even a little bit.
For some reason, my wife, like right now, she's not wearing zero fucking jewelry. But for some reason, every time we fly, my wife has to grab every fucking necklace in the whole house and every wristband and put it on and be Mrs. T and walk through with a big gulp and a fucking jacket and like 7 bags. She has like, it's weird. How come we have no jewelry on, but you only wear when we fly? It's really strange.
This is the first time you've ever seen me with no jewelry.
Mind you, every time we've traveled anywhere in the world, my wife's always had weird hair colors for society, pink hair, two-tone hair. She's always gets fucked with every time. And it's beyond the necklaces and the jewelry. Sometimes my wife will be carrying like, I don't know, a comb that actually turns into a knife or something in her bag or like
that
something
was a gift
liquid.
from Chad.
What did you have and what was it in your bag?
Which one?
One of your weapons, concealed weapons that you carry.
I've had a bunch. It's never on purpose. It's like, oh, I forgot it was in there. But
the cat brass knuckles or fucking something.
that was from Lisa.
Something. I remember carrying these teeny brass knuckles that Rusty gave me. They were like a necklace that weren't even
They
size.
were Max's size.
Yeah, and they
for the
pulled
Hazen
me,
Street record.
Yeah, and they pulled me to the side and said I couldn't. It was a concealed thing. It could fit in my palm. It couldn't fit even anybody's fingers. Not even maybe an infant. And that was a weapon.
Yeah, Max was 1 or 2,
Yeah.
less than 2 years old when he had it on the back cover of the record.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And they took him from you.
That is crazy. Yeah, but you carry concealed weapons, big gulps. You have 11,000 chains on for no reason.
I always request to go in that big one now.
Where they scan your whole body?
Because then I don't have to take off my stuff. But they've went in my hair.
You never got pulled into a room, though.
They've taken my shoes and shaken them. Like they're going to cut my shoes open.
In
but
Japan,
mind you, while they're harassing me, you guys would be, it would be like a TV show. Like you guys would be walking through with 10 bags of merch.
Facts. So you were the decoy.
And I was over there. I mean, it was never on purpose either, but it was just like, they're going to pick me.
You were a decoy. So anybody listening to this podcast that worked for the TSA, we don't do that anymore. That was like in the 90s. We have merch printed over in Europe. Now we don't sneak anything anymore. We're totally legit.
Are you serious?
In case people listening, you know what I mean?
No one cares.
There was that one time I went to Japan and they started going through our bags. And then you spoke to
They
two.
They pulled me and Vaughn aside.
Yeah.
Pink hair, black man.
Yeah. And he said that, the only 2 things you could say is, he pointed at me and said, Cheesy Chimpo-san, which means Mr. Little Dick. Thanks. And then
they started laughing and let us all walk through.
Yeah, that's true.
And that was, I don't know, 15 bags.
Yeah. And then I remember going through fucking Colombia a couple years ago We had a bunch of merch. We had like some PMA merch too, and they went through it. And Rafa said that we were
a
religious group,
going
traveling,
around spreading the positive message.
spreading positive messages. And then I gave like all like the fucking TSA guards all PMA shirts at the airport. That was amazing, man. That was freaking
great.
awesome. That was a good call, Rafa. These guys are religious, positive group, spreading the message. They all get free T-shirts. So bottom line, ladies and gentlemen, if you're in a band,
Don't complain,
and you're married and you have a kid, and that's what you do for 25 years, you're very fucking lucky, which I know I am.
If you do it for 1 year,
and I'm very fucking lucky. And every single person listening, and every single father or mother that's in music relates to what I'm talking about, especially the people I had on this podcast. They totally understand that leaving your family is really, really hard. And I'm very lucky. I'm not going to say blessed. I'm very lucky that my wife got to travel with me for like, the first 10 years?
yes.
The first 10 years as H-Toby before Max was born, and see the world with me, get pregnant on tour, be pregnant on tour, and got to travel. And then after that, she stays home and gets time to herself, which she really, really needs to have some more alone time. And Max comes to me every summer to Europe, which is wonderful. You know, I was hoping to get you out. I was like, quit your job, come to Persistence. It'd be so fun. It's me and you, 10 days, just me and you, quiet time. Have your mom come out here. Like, it's not reality, but you know, the thought is wonderful to have that thought. So yeah, I know I'm lucky. I know I get to do what I love. I know that, you know,
We do actually have friends that have been touring in bands, and then they would be the person to leave, that their wife and or significant other got a band and then left. And it was really interesting to see how they were okay with being the one leaving.
Yeah.
And then when they got left behind, it was really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. That's why I think it's like it's the person that gets left behind, but even though you're going, you feel like you're missing out on what we're doing.
Yeah. That's true. Because you would always say to me, like, yeah, that's fine. You miss us. But remember, I'm home here too. I'm here with Max. Like, we miss you too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know you guys miss me as well. But you're going on with your everyday life, like school and work. And I have this 23 hours of downtime on tour where if I'm not on stage, this 23 hours, I'm hitting you guys up. What are you guys doing? What are you doing? And I'm 9 hours ahead. It's just frustrating. And because I'm used to talking to you guys so many times a day that I have that time difference, and I have this downtime where I'm like, fuck, I'll miss my family. But when I'm on stage, it's great. But now on this tour, I get to watch all my friends' sets. I get to play 30 minutes, take a nice shower, come back, chill, watch all my plans play. It's wonderful. It's going to be wonderful. Haven't drank coffee in 9 days. I'm not sure how that's going to last in Europe because every single person in my band are coffee heads.
If
but
anybody's
I'm
listening
strong.
to this that's on the Persistence tour, please try to get him to drink coffee.
My wife was so proud that I finally had some sort of. She's like, that was the
anything.
She's like, that was the biggest joke addiction ever. For the month of December, I drank coffee every day.
20-day problem.
But it made me so jittery.
That's what it's supposed to do.
Dehydrated me.
Drink water also.
Maybe you have to run to the bathroom. Had to go to the bathroom.
You do that anyway.
I fucked up. I had one right before running Canada. I go to the bathroom in the woods up there.
You do that anyway.
But it did. It went
For
right,
real.
I know it went right through me. But it gave me this. Like for me, I pride myself on what my doctor calls I am healthy as an 18-year-old girl, if that's a compliment or not. I pride myself on being as pure as possible. And I just tried the coffee. Maybe I was trying to be an adult and fit in and hang out with my friends and finally fit into society, have a cup of coffee with all my friends who drink coffee. But it did not work for my body. I'm already hyper as it is. You can tell I'm high on life. It didn't do anything. It tasted like shit. It made me shit. But then it became a routine. Shout out to Power Plant down the street from my house. They would give me free coffee every morning, and they were like kind of feeding me and enabling me.
They were laughing at you.
Laughing at me. And so, yeah, the coffee's a wrap. I might do green tea here and there, but I'm back to like just my green juices and my water, and that's fine. That's who I am. I tried to do something that a lot of my friends do and something normal, but it didn't work for me, man. I'm sorry, man. I tried, man. And then people started hitting me up. Yo, I got coffee. I'm gonna send you my bean. And Russ is like, dude, have him send it to you. I'll give it to me. I'm like, okay. And then people are like, yo, you should make an H2O coffee mugs and you should make coffee. I'm like, it's only been the first month. I'm not gonna leave that for the Descendants. They're original OG coffee heads. Remember hearing Descendants talk about mug and coffee and all this shit? In the 80s, I'm like, my mom drinks Sanka. My mom drinks coffee. Like it was so weird to hear like a punk band that you love talk about coffee.
Yeah, that
coffee
was
was
weird.
such an adult thing. And now Every fucking teenager drinks Starbucks
Sanka.
Frappuccinos and all this. Remember Sanka?
Nobody would be caught dead drinking Sanka
But
now,
I'm just
right?
saying, like, or Dunkin' Donuts. But back then, babe, it was like coffee. That's for your parents. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now
Grandparents.
it's like Starbucks and fucking Max swears on Starbucks. I'm like, listen, dude, if you can drink coffee, drink the organic coffee without the chemicals, because all that Starbucks shit, there's all kinds of shit in there. Anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about. I have no right to say that because I'm not a coffee connoisseur. But also, people would know my wife. She's been addicted to big gulps her whole entire life, right, Mama? How many years now?
A little bit.
How many years, babe?
I don't know, because like New York didn't have 7-Eleven when we lived there.
What did I give you on our 10-year anniversary?
A double gulp with diamonds.
10 diamonds, and it was a double gulp made by Rusty Pistachio. So I was enabling you also.
And the day you gave it to me, you're like, you really need to stop drinking pop. I was like, that was dumb.
But I always send to you when people, even John Joseph the other day, he posted some stuff about pop being bad for you. Then I'll get people to send me shit about pop's good for you. We're talking about Diet Coke here, people. My wife's addicted to Diet Coke. Or she do half and half Diet Coke with a Coke. Or it's Mountain Dew. And that's been your shit forever, babe. Forever. One more thing I'm going to say about my wife real quick before we get done with this podcast is for how many years straight have you been finding dimes every day?
I don't know how long it's been, but I started paying attention like 4 or 5 years ago. And every single day I find a dime. Not 10. I mean, sometimes I find 10 pennies or nickel, a quarter, whatever. But I also find full purses and wallets.
But your main thing is dimes.
I always find a dime.
Just your main thing.
Yeah. And I started taking photos. Like, maybe I'll do like a dime a day on the thing.
A dime book.
It's so insane. In the most random spots. Like, we were at a hayride. And I found one there. Like, just like, oh, look, there's a dime over there.
Yeah.
And like, a couple of my friends, I think, are just so annoyed. Like, oh, there she is again. Found another dime.
Yeah.
But there's got to be a reason behind it.
Well, every day you find one. Every day you send me pictures that you found a dime. You should definitely...
I got one today, too.
You should document that shit. I don't know why it happens. If people listening, what if they... What could people can predict the future, or what do they call people? Telepathic. I don't know what these people call who like the dime will mean. If people listening know what the fuck a dime means every day, please DM me and tell me to let my wife know like what it symbolizes finding a dime every day of your life. It's really crazy, babe. And I would say it's because of your big gulp 7-Eleven connection that the dime thing kind of started though. Because you used to find dimes inside the candy in the front.
Well, like, yeah, at the register, but it's like it happens a lot at 7-Eleven, but then my point is at the hayride.
Yeah.
And on the street or where I pull up in a parking lot, like I will go at my job in the parking lot. I walk into my job.
Yeah.
Then I come back and there's a dime next to my door.
Yeah.
I used to think you and Max were setting it up sometimes. I'd be like, did you
props.
do that?
Yeah. Interesting. All right, babe. Well, tomorrow I'm hitting the road. I'm going to go on the Persistence Tour. So everybody in Europe, I'll see you guys starting Wednesday in Hamburg. I'm very excited.
Shake my hand, $100 per time.
I'm shaking my wife $100 if I mention anything. What do I have to mention?
Anything drama related about
the tour?
I don't want to go on tour. I don't want to fly.
Okay.
I'm gonna miss Adam.
Yeah, the winter, all that stuff.
Too cold.
So everybody that sees me on the Persistence Tour, I'm gonna need a big hug from every single person that I see on that tour. I'm excited to get out there and play these shows with all my friends. It's going to be a wonderful tour. It's going to be really cold. But, yeah, if you coming out to Persistence, come say hi and bring me some vegan treats. But, Mama, what's the whole point of this podcast today? What's the bottom line?
Don't bitch.
Don't be a bitch and appreciate what you have. Not just that. I appreciate what I have, but don't bitch and complain when you know when you get there you're going to have fun. You know what I mean?
Because you always end up having a great time.
Of course I do.
And this one is with all your people.
I'm saying, I know, it's going to be great. I'm very excited. It's just, I've been home for a long time. That's another thing. I've been home for a long time. I haven't left in a while. I've been working the podcast.
Later.
That's the thing. It gets to the point where my wife's going to kill me or divorce me or fucking kill me in my sleep. That I go on tour. Then it's like, perfect timing. And then she misses me and we start fresh again. I don't drive her crazy. So anyway, hey, sorry, Gavin. I love you. Your episode will come out next week. Thanks to everybody subscribe and listen to this podcast. It made this thing really, really fun for me. Very therapeutic, very interesting. I have a lot of guests already done. I'm sitting on like 48 episodes coming out this year so far. Obviously the whole year I'm going to have episodes, but I'm sitting on 48 right now. I got a bunch of part 2s I'm working on. And yeah, man, my wife's been helping me. She set up the YouTube page for me. What's the YouTube page, babe? One
It's
Life
the
by Chance
same thing.
It's One Life by Chance podcast.
Yeah, but you should listen to it on YouTube because eventually we're going to have it on video.
Thank you, babe. My wife sent me a YouTube page for this. All right, man. Much love to everybody. Happy New Year, and I'll see you guys on the Persistence Tour. Say goodbye, Mama.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, guys. Thanks for listening. Please rate, review, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet to this podcast, please do that. And whatever platform you are listening to this on, I'm glad you found me. You can rate me and review me on there also. So thank you guys sincerely for the support. I cannot wait for you guys to the next one.